All right. Well, let me ask you a few questions here. And Jebb, I really appreciate your time. But in terms of process, let me ask you a few questions here. And as you know, as we discussed, ERP can be quite challenging. But in your experience, what is more likely? Nearly perfect success with no major challenges, or success after enduring some challenges due to organizational culture?
Yeah, certainly. I'd say it's the latter because we always encounter we go into a project, an implementation project, knowing that there's going to be challenges. And that's where I feel like on the human relationship level, it's very important to actually be able to train either remotely or on site so that the end user who may be resistant can give them a vision of what they're going to be able to do with their job, how they can improve their job once it's implemented. Certainly there's a direct relationship between acceptance from top to bottom in terms of speed of implementation. I've seen implementation project be completed in a 4 to 6 month time frame. I've also seen them take a year, and the longer projects are always due to some form of resistance in the company. But
Yeah.
there's always going to be a challenge, and our job is to overcome that challenge and bring them to the finish line as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And so, Jebb, just to dive a little deeper on that and just to share with our listeners, obviously the implementation process and the methodology are crucial. How does your implementation process or methodology differ from other ERP players? Do you have anything you want to share with our listeners in that? What do you feel are some differentiators for you folks relative to some of your competition?
Yeah, I'd have to say that it's the personal contact that we have, that the relationship, the project manager and others on our team that work with that project manager, it's the relationships that they all develop with the company that's going through the implementation. And there are a lot of similarities in ERP systems, and there are a lot of similarities in implementation processes. However, I think to really stand out, it's important to have that personal connection. And like I said, whether it be remotely or doing on-site visits, which we do both, of course, during the project. But I think that's what really drives it and differentiates us.
And what are your thoughts on ERP software customization? We just mentioned briefly earlier in the conversation the idea of out of the box functionality, and but sometimes there's a balance between out of the box and some customization being required. But is there a danger of too much customization, and where do you folks draw the line?
Sure. Since we've been adding functionality to the system literally for the past 30 years or so, we have most of what a typical convenience distributor will need in our ERP system. But undoubtedly, there will always be a request for some form of custom software. And our approach to that is, yeah, we're willing to do that. And we will implement it. We'll incorporate it into our software model. One thing that's really important for us is every one of our customers runs the same version of software. And if we do a piece of customization, then every customer has that customized piece. Now, I know there's switches that can turn them on and off depending on whether they want to use them or not. So, we're open to customization. We don't do a whole lot simply because our ERP system is very deep, very wide, and very specific to our industry and already addresses almost every requirement that our customers have. But hey, we're open to it, and we'll incorporate it into our model, and everybody runs the same version.
And Jebb, would you agree that ERP selection is one of the most crucial decisions to be made during an ERP organizational change endeavor? And if so, why?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge decision. It's a decision that a company is going to live with for many years, for a number of years. In our case, hopefully for the life existence of the company, and that's our goal. And it's really important for the end user to get an ERP system that they know is going to address all of the requirements in their industry, but also gives them flexibility and allows them to grow. And that's been our design model from day one, is to deliver a system that is fluid and flexible and can grow, but at the same time, have everybody on the same release level and make it very easy to upgrade and to support.
And Jebb, what would you say are some of the key factors to consider when deciding upon an ERP solution?
I would say, first of all, the system itself, of course, examine the software. We typically do 5 or 6 demos with a company before they make a decision. And yeah, first of all, know the software. Know that it's going to provide you with the solutions that you need in your industry and specifically in your business. But also, it's important to build a relationship with the company itself and make sure that it's a company that's going to be here for the long haul, which we certainly are positioned to do just that, and to be able to build a relationship with the entire staff, whether it be a programmer or a project manager or a support staff member. So it's like a marriage, and it's going to last a long time, you hope,
Yeah.
and or forever. You need to make sure that you do your homework so that when you get into it, it's where you want to be.